Atheism leads to genocide. Hitler himself was an atheist. Welcome to Friday Fallacy. This week we're looking at the Reductio ad Hitlerum fallacy. The Reductio ad Hitlerum fallacy is when an idea is discredited by its association with Hitler. That is, rather than responding to the merits of an argument, it is instead rejected as being associated with Nazism. This is not a sound way of arguing, as simply being associated with Hitler or Nazism does not automatically render an idea invalid. That Hitler was a vegetarian in no way means that vegetarianism is inherently evil. That the Nazis were anti-communist in no way means that communism is ideal. Some examples of the Reductio ad Hitlerum fallacy. Nationalising assets is something the Nazis would do. Hitler engaged in censorship. Freedom of speech should never be impinged. You know who else was a socialist? That's right, Adolf Hitler. Fascists insist on patriotism. Clearly, any patriotism is a bad thing. Not all comparisons to the Nazis are the Reductio ad Hitlerum fallacy. In particular, if the topic of discussion is one of the areas of Nazi policy that they are well known for, then the comparison is apt. For example, in a discussion about eugenics, anti-Semitism, state persecution of minority groups, or genocide, comparisons to Nazism or Hitler may well be appropriate. However, this is only true because these are areas where the Nazi ideals have already been established to be morally repugnant or fallacious. The Reductio ad Hitlerum fallacy relies on associating other, contentious ideas with the known moral failings of Nazism. The Reductio ad Hitlerum fallacy, strictly speaking, is only when the comparison is directly to Hitler. I've already given examples that are not actually examples of this, but rather the argumentum ad Nazium, which is when the comparison is to Nazism in general. Another related fallacy is the Reductio ad Stalinum, which is when the comparison is made to Joseph Stalin. Of course, these are all just particular examples of a more general association fallacy, which is the fallacy of judging an idea by the company it keeps. Clearly, this is false. An important point is that in argumentation, comparisons to Hitler or Nazism are rarely actually necessary. That is, if an idea is flawed, then it should be possible to point out the problems in it without making comparisons to Hitler. For example, if one wants to discredit the idea of racial superiority, there are plenty of other reasons to oppose it. Stating that the Nazis believed in it is really just an appeal to emotion. However, if the discussion is about what a society built upon the idea of racial superiority might look like, then the Third Reich is one such example. The bottom line is that any one person or society, no matter how grotesque or offensive, is unlikely to be the basis for a good argument. In conclusion, the Reductio ad Hitlerum fallacy is when an idea is discredited due to its association with Hitler or the Nazis. Until next time, keep your fallacies to yourself.